Sunshine, it's Steph and welcome back to my YouTube channel where each week I share with you guys a new video teaching you all about how to turn your own passions into paid gigs as a freelancer so that you can feel like sunshine just like me. Give a little tap on that subscribe button below to make sure that you stay up to date on when new videos come out each week. And as always, if you find this video helpful, inspirational, I'd love to hear from you. Give it a thumbs up, comment below. I do try to reply to every single comment. All right, so let's get to today's topic. I've been wanting to make this video for years. In my last video, I shared with you how you can make $500 an hour freelancing or more. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you go watch it here. All right, that's gonna really inspire you to realize that the sky is the limit. There's no ceiling with your income with freelancing. And if you can make a side income freelancing, you can pay off things like student loans and debts much quicker. So today's video, I want to share with you how my husband and I were able to pay off our student loans. Combined, we had almost $500,000 in student loans that we paid off just like that, all because of three things. So I'm going to share with you our story to the journey of like getting through those student loans, feeling that relief of paying them off so we can move on with our lives debt-free. And I'm going to share with you why I think we were able to do that so that you can try and replicate that as well. If you're someone who is in debt, in student loan debt, and you want to free yourself of those as well. Freelancing is a wonderful way to make money, and it's one of the best ways to make that extra money to pay off student loans quicker. So here's my story. From 2015 to 2009, I got my first batch of student loans from going to undergrad at University of Florida to get my bachelor's degree. 2009 to 2012, I got my second batch of loans from going to pursue my doctorate of physical therapy. So I graduated in 2012 with over $220,000 in student loan debt. And within 5 years, I had paid it all off, and we even paid off my husband's as well. How? Well, let's rewind first. If you recall from my YouTube story video, this one, I shared how I was led down the path to go to college and grad school, even though like I really didn't know if that's what I wanted. I feel like I always knew I wanted to be more independent, more of an entrepreneur, but I did it anyways. And I graduated with over $220,000 in student loan debt, moving out to Arizona with Zach to start our life here. And I began working as a full-time physical therapist. I loved helping my patients feel better. I loved it, and really helping them get back to the sports and hobbies that they loved. But I realized pretty quickly that I did not love having to work late shifts, having no flexibility on where I worked, having this glass ceiling about how much I could make and who controlled my income. And I realized pretty early that I didn't want to work in corporate PT forever. I knew I wanted to retire as early as possible, like in my 40s or even 50s. That was the goal. And Zach felt the same way. He was studying to become a pharmacist, and soon after graduating, when he started working, he also realized the same thing. So we were like both in a ton of debt from me and from him, and together we realized that corporate work is just not for us long term. He had accrued over $280,000 in loans, so ultimately we had like $500,000 piling up, but we knew we wanted more freedom and we wanted to retire earlier. So like, what the heck do we do? Do we just live with this like cloud of student loan debt over our heads and over our dreams and goals for another 15, 20 years? Or do we combine our efforts to pay them off as quick as possible so we can start investing in our future and retire earlier? I'm sure you guessed it. We chose option number 2 to try and pay off these loans as quick as possible. And some people thought we were crazy. Some people are like, why are you doing this? But we did not want to be in debt, okay? So we decided together, let's go ahead and figure out, make a plan. How can we pay these loans off quickly and then therefore be debt-free? And then from there, be making enough money that we can save up enough to invest in our future so that we can retire younger than the majority of people as millionaires. How can we do this? And Zach really led the efforts in that. He did so much research, so much reading, and combined, we decided to come up with this plan to pay off loans quickly and move on to financial freedom. So our goal was, let's start paying off my loans as quick as possible. We're gonna pay extra each month and tackle mine first so that by the time he graduates pharmacy school, mine are gone and we can focus on tackling his and get his paid off, right? So that was the goal. And spoiler alert, we ended up doing it. We paid off our student loans super quickly. I think within 5 years, I have to go back and look at my records, but I think within 5 years, we paid off our loans. Crazy, huh? And we were debt-free and just so excited to feel that like relief of no longer having that cloud, that burden, that of debt just like sitting over us. So how did we do it? How? I attribute it to 3 things, and those are the things I want to share with you today so that you can really pull some lessons from this and some inspiration on how you can do it as well. Those 3 things the 3 reasons I believe we were able to pay off our loans so quick is because we set aligned goals together, we worked really hard, and we worked more than one job each. So let's break each of those down. Pretty early on in our relationship, dating as a couple, Zach and I discovered that what really helped us stay on the same page with our finances and our future together was staying motivated together. So each year we would sit down once a year and write goals together as a couple, not just individual, but together. Even dating before we were married, we did this. Every year we would sit down and write out our future goals together. Personal, professional, financial, we had all these goals written down. And instead of writing down goals of like, I want to get a BMW or a Louis Vuittons or a Chanel or whatever, we wanted financial freedom. That was the overarching theme. We wanted to be debt-free and be financially free to the point where we could be millionaires and retire in our 40s or 50s. So we had to make sure that every year, goals that we wrote really aligned with that overall end goal, right? We would set health goals, we would set travel goals, of course, but our main goals were about finances and learning how to spend less, make more, and pay off student loans as quick as humanly possible. So, in order to spend less, we did things like living a very simple life. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment that was in a very affordable part of town. It was under $700 a month. It wasn't trendy. It didn't have a garage. It was just simple. Safe but simple. We kept our old cars. We didn't feel like we had to go out and buy the flashy new cars that most people did. We shopped at Walmart. We didn't really go out to eat much unless we were socializing and having fun with friends. So we had a very budget-friendly lifestyle. We just graduated college. There was no need for us to go out and buy the fancy cars and houses and things to just show off. No, we decided to live like college students for the next 2 years in order to live like millionaires for the rest of our lives. It was a small sacrifice to make. And yeah, we still went out and partied and had a great time while living on a budget. It was totally fine. We had a great life. So not only did we make that purposeful decision to spend less, but we also made this decision to take action on making more money. Not only were we going to spend less than most people, we're going to make more than most people by building up several different sources of income. So I started things like online coaching, and he started taking weekend shifts for his job, and I tried to get bonuses at work, and anything extra that came in went straight to paying off loans. If we got a bonus, we didn't go out and party. We didn't go out and buy something. We put that towards student loans to pay it off as quick as possible. And to be honest, having a goal like that together really makes life easier because you're on the same page, but it also makes your decisions easier as a couple. When you have similar goals in mind, tough decisions become very easy because you ultimately just ask yourself, does this align with our long-term goals? Yes or no? Do we move forward with buying an SUV? No, it doesn't really help us toward our long-term goals at the moment. We'll push that off for a few years. Does it make sense for us to go on a group trip right now where the hotel is $500 a night? No, that's not really within our budget, and I think we can go have a wonderful trip, just us at a hotel for $200 a night. So for us, we did make little sacrifices along the way to make sure that we were spending less, making more, and keeping our long-term goals always at the forefront of our decisions. So having those aligned goals together, I think, is the main reason we were able to do this. The second reason we were able to pay off loans so quick is because we are hard workers. We work freaking hard, harder than most people because we like the work we do. So we don't mind working 10, 12, 14 hours a day. We really don't. So personally, I had been with the same physical therapy company for a while, and I had been trying to wow my bosses and make my patients happy, so that within 3 years I got promoted to clinic manager, the director of the clinic, running my own clinic and my own staff. And thanks to that promotion, I was in the perfect position and at the right time when our company got bought out by a larger physical therapy company. So I financially benefited greatly from that buyout because I was the clinic director, because I worked hard as a regular physical therapist to get that promotion and really wow people and be in that position to be able to benefit from the buyout. So because I was a hard worker and my bosses saw that, I got promoted and was in this position to get benefit from the buyout. And that helped greatly. I believe totally that the universe, God, was totally looking out for us in that moment, because the amount that I had left to pay off of my student loans is pretty darn close to the exact amount the buyout was. And I paid the loans off. I did not go out with the buyout money and splurge, buy myself anything. We put that straight to the loans. We got that paper saying, Stephanie, all your student loans have been paid off, $0 balance, and we freaking made a cake in our little apartment, blew out those candles, and celebrated together, because that was the first big milestone to get over, was paying off my loans. So I had spent years and years putting all of our extra savings and money and extra income to pay off loans, and then that final buyout was the last thing we needed to finally get rid of my loans. And that all came down to hard work. Absolutely, because no other physical therapist who had only been working for 2 or 3 years were getting promoted to clinic director. I was the first to get promoted that quickly, and it's because they saw my hard work and dedication and passion to helping my patients. When you work hard, other people notice, and the best people, the best bosses, the best coworkers are the ones that notice, and then they not only just notice, but they lift you up. They help promote you. They help move you forward. When they see that passion and that drive, and that you are serious about this job and love it, they're going to help support you and raise you up with them. And that's what it's all about. So Zach and I had aligned goals together. We were both very, very hard workers. And the third reason we were able to pay off loans so quickly is because we accepted very early on that this wouldn't happen if we both just had one job. So very early on, we knew the importance of building side income, whether it be active side income or passive side income. We knew early on, in our early 20s, mid-20s, we've got to start building some extra income here and there. So we would do little things like I started selling ebooks online. He would pick up extra shifts, little online coaching. At one point, Zach had 3 pharmacy jobs. At one point, I had my PT job, my health coaching job, and my freelancing business. 3 jobs each. What? Wait, what? That's crazy, right? But we did it. We said, we're not going to focus on the big house or the big cars right now. We're not going to focus on going out and getting drunk and happy hour and dinners every night. No, we are going to hustle, and we are going to work hard in our mid-20s while we have the energy to do it just for a few years. We are going to work hard, live on a budget, knocking out these student loans. It will be well worth it when in 10 years we can say we're millionaires. So personally, I would walk home from work as a physical therapist, drop my things, we'd make dinner, and then instead of sitting on the couch and just scrolling through Instagram or watching TV, I would start on my side hustles, right? I would sit there, pull out my laptop, and I'd start my online coaching, or I would work on my freelancing stuff. An extra an hour a night or 5 hours a week adds up to 20 hours a month, and I was making extra income doing stuff that I really, really loved, working on my own businesses that I could work on from anywhere as long as I had my laptop and Wi-Fi, and businesses that I could run my way. And so Zach started doing the same, and we started to really realize, you know what? This is what is going to bring us the happiness and the freedom that we want. It's building these different forms of income. This is it. This is how the millionaires do it. They don't just have one job. They have multiple different sources of income coming in. So let's go ahead and knock these student loans off. And then once they're knocked out, we're going to start figuring out other ways to make income as well. So not only did we have this short-term goal of, okay, Steph's loans are paid off, let's get to paying off Zach's, but we also started building more long-term goals of, we're gonna invest in our Roth IRAs, our HSAs, in the stock market, investment properties. We're gonna start building this passive income as well, right? So this kind of takes me back to having aligned goals together as a couple. Make sure you have some short-term goals within the next year, two, couple years, and some long-term goals to help guide and direct the short-term goals. Make sure you're heading in that long-term goal direction. So we knew what we needed to happen to the next few years, and then we knew where we wanted to go. But back to where we were, working on those short-term goals of just paying off student loans. For me, that meant continuing to build my side income through my health coaching business and eventually the freelancing work. And so that's absolutely what I focused on, while Zach was focusing on his 3 pharmacy jobs as well. When it comes to deciding what sort of side income you want to build or side hustle, a lot of times you just need to experiment and see what works. With freelancing, I had no idea if it would work. This is something no one was talking about. I randomly heard about Fiverr.com. I was like, I see one other girl on there doing fitness videos. I wonder if I can do that too. No clue if this is going to make me any money, but hey, it doesn't hurt to try. It's free, so let me just put up a listing for free and see if it works. And so I want to mention that because oftentimes you may be uncertain what direction you want to go for your side hustle income. My recommendation, try 1, 2, or 3 things and see which one brings you the most success and the most joy. So a little side story about starting freelancing. It's really funny how it started. I had just randomly heard about Fiverr, had no clue if it would work, and so Zach gets home one night and I'm like, Zach, do you think it'd be okay if we sell our dining room table and I use this tiny little dining space in our 600 square foot apartment to film fitness videos for Fiverr? He's like, what? What is that website? What are you making? What? And after we got through that of me explaining it, he's like, okay, sure, we don't need a dining room table, go ahead and try it, Steph. He's always been my #1 supporter, and he knew that freelancing really aligned with our short-term and long-term goals, perhaps, and so he's like, go for it. So I listed that dining room table on OfferUp, made $100 from it. They pulled it out, and now we had this tiny little square of a space, not even an entire room, okay? It was just a tiny little nook in the apartment with tile and a plain wall, and I was like, hey, this is my filming studio now, and I'm gonna be a freelancer. And I rolled out my yoga mat, sat down, and started filming videos, example videos of what I could create, teaching exercises to people on video. I listed it on Fiverr, no clue what I was doing, no clue how to apply a strategy, just listed it. And eventually orders came in, and more orders and more orders. And the better I got at being on camera and communicating and filming and editing and also selling myself on that platform, the more orders came in, and it just grew and grew and grew like a snowball effect. All because I took that step to list my services. I was fearless. I was instead of being afraid of putting this listing up and failing, I'm going to be fearless and just step up to the plate and try it out. It doesn't hurt to try. And so because I did that, that's the only reason I can stand here today saying that freelancing saved me. Freelancing brought me the freedom I wanted. Freelancing is the reason I find so much joy every single day waking up to do a job that I love. I just can't believe, I still can't believe that that's how it started. But that's how it started. And people didn't need the fancy lights and camera and big fancy studio. They just wanted someone who was passionate and good at teaching and being on camera teaching what they want to share to the world. So I encourage you, if you're considering freelancing, consider it very strongly, because once you start making those sales and get more positive reviews in, you'll get promoted. And once you get promoted, you can increase your prices and make the amount of money you want to make for your services. Finally. You get paid your worth for your value, not just for your time. So building a side hustle or a side income on top of a full-time job, I think is one of the best decisions Zach and I ever made, to just make some tiny sacrifices now to live that luxurious millionaire lifestyle later. So we fully committed to that. And because of freelancing and because of our side hustles, we have so much joy, so much happiness, so much fulfillment in what we do because of those decisions we made together back when we were in our early 20s. So if you are someone who wants more out of your future, maybe you want to pay off student loans or other debts quicker, then I want you to try this process right now. First off, write down some aligned goals that you can work really freaking hard for, harder than anyone else, and then build up multiple streams of income to help you get there. The more streams of income you have coming in, the more opportunity there is for one of them to take off and be successful and skyrocket you toward that dream life that you want. And freelancing may be the perfect side income for you, is it? So write out your long-term goals and what you want from your life and your job and your career. And if a remote job that you can do from anywhere is what you want, then I want you to strongly consider freelancing. I've made 6 figures freelancing alone in a very small amount of time, extra work each week, and you can do the same. If you stay focused on your goals, you work hard, and you take action, even if it's scary action, to build that side income now. The first step to taking action toward your future is investing in the Freelancer Academy. This is a 10-week course and group mentorship for creative, multi-passionate men and women to teach you how to increase your side income and make money from anywhere in the world. It's time to start really doing what you love while making extra money in less time. This group mentorship program is going to teach you exactly how to build an online freelancing business on Fiverr.com specifically to help you gain financial freedom and schedule bliss that you deserve. When you join the Freelancer Academy, I'm going to teach you how to make thousands of dollars extra on your side income so that you can get paid for your passion projects and gain financial freedom. By the end of the Freelancer Academy, most likely you're going to be making so much that your BFF or your coworkers are going to be like, what the heck are you doing? How did you get the extra money for that? How did you get the extra money to go do that? They are going to want to know and find out all the secrets to how you did it. And it's because you took scary action that was aligned with your long-term goals and you worked really freaking hard until it paid off. So I hope that my story and mine and Zach's story of paying off loans quickly inspires you. I know it's not the route for everyone, but it was definitely the route for us because that feeling of being debt-free is indescribable. And the fact that we could then be fully committed to moving forward on our long-term goals at the age of 30 instead of at the age of 50, we could then begin saving, investing, buying up properties to rent out, all of these things because we paid off those loans really freaking fast instead of just doing the bare minimum. So I highly encourage you guys to just consider this option. I'm not saying I'm a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, simply sharing our story to inspire you and perhaps motivate you to do the same. Well, that's it for today. Thank you guys for joining me and this little sleepy guy over here. As always, peace and love.